Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilleys Landing Resort and Marina on Lake Taneycomo. I'm going to do one cast today. It's Saturday the 12th of June, I believe. They are running 1 unit of water. I boated up here just below Fall Creek Marina. I'm going to fish the bluff bank down. The current is not fast at all, so I don't know how much ground I can cover, but I'm going to throw 3 32nd ounce, start with a sculpin and peach. Sometimes you can't hardly tell the difference between a peach and junior, but that's a peach with a sculpin head, and I've got 4-pound line, and I've got, this one is the 6.6 medium light Lilleys rod. Fluger President's Reel, 4-pound line. It's a Trilene XL green. And I might not start with this. I actually have some of the thread starting to come off this jig. We guarantee our jigs. We will replace the jigs if they come apart. But that doesn't mean they don't come apart sometimes. This is the jig that I'm going to go ahead and use it because it just has some red thread sticking down. Marabou's still okay. This is a jig that Coy was using last night when he caught that brown. Had a gentleman come in the shop today and said that he's been using a sculpin peach jig all week and catching lots and lots of fish. He, I guess, was coming back for more jigs. Lots of people out today. Of course, it's Saturday. People staying at these houses behind me, across from Fall Creek. Not many boats out, but people are out barbecuing and having a good time. Water's running the same about all day. I think they're running a little bit more water this morning. Nothing on the first cast. I haven't fished this bank much this year. I try to hit different places on one cast. We hit a lot of the same places, but we do like to mix it up some. Fish water that we usually don't fish, or really just try to give people an idea of what to fish, where to fish, or what not to go, and what not to fish with. If I don't catch any fish here, then if you're fishing tomorrow, you probably won't come and hit this bank. Coy's fish last night was a pretty cool catch. I was not expecting to, there was a bump. Was not expecting it, of course, but, and that was the only fish we caught down in that area by Monkey Island. Oh, that might have been a fish. What was really cool about it, and I'm pretty sure I made it pretty clear in the video, is that sculpin that popped out of that fish's mouth. As soon as Coy picked up the fish and ran his hand over the belly of the fish, that sculpin just shot out of its mouth. Landed on the floor of my boat, flopping and kicking. We figured he probably ate that sculpin not more than 5 minutes or less. before he hit Coy's jig. That sculpin was real dark, almost black. And it wasn't much bigger than my jig, or our jigs. It was about 1.5 inches long. Well, I put him back in the lake and he shot back down at the bottom, so. Fishing was pretty good today. It was good early and pretty good during the day. There was a lot of boat traffic, and I have to say that there was a lot of people going really too fast up and down the lake, not really yielding to boats and stuff. It was not a good situation. Pretty low rainbow. He's been in the lake for a while. He's got a lot of beautiful colors. I didn't really feel that bite. He just kind of ate it. I just felt him on the jig. There is a lot of wood along this bank, so I've got a couple other rods that are ready. Guess I'll lose a jig or two. Oh, Dwayne had a trip this morning, and they did really good. And I saw them drifting down around the resort. There's a fish. Catching fish. He was drifting a pink power worm, and he said he would thread it up the line like a red river worm, or what do you call those? Red wigglers. That's what they are. It's short but fat. String it up on the line. I need to put some line on this reel. It's not casting very good. Ooh, that's a nice fish. Ate a bug down there. He said he's stringing it up on the line above the hook, letting it hang off the hook a little bit, and just drifting it on the bottom using a drift rig, using 1/8 ounce bell weights. I mean, the water is it's moving slow enough. Like right now, if I were to drift, I'd just have a little split shot on. I wouldn't even have an 1/8 ounce bell weight. It's too heavy. And he was drifting those on the bottom and really doing well. Catch a lot of fish. Night crawler's been working real good too. I'm working this pretty slow, as you can see. My jig's pretty hard and fast, but I'm letting it really sink and trying to keep it down. Not on the bottom, but pretty close. Jackson, what do you think you see? I don't see anything. I see some logs in the water. That's all I see, some stumps. think he thinks those are a little bite. Another one. This is nice. No boat traffic, no wind. The water's just barely moving. And the fish are biting. That's a little bigger fish. He's about 13 and a half, 14 inches, real big bodied fish. This is a good bank to catch a big brown on. You know, all this wood and big chunk rock on the bottom. That's where those sculpin live. Anything that they can get under and hide, and that's where they live. And wherever there's sculpin, there's going to be brown trout. Rainbows eat them too, but those browns really, that's probably, I'm sure it's their main diet. Ooh, I just had a little bite on the drop. And another little bite. I think that's why these sculpin jigs work so well, is because they look like sculpin. Sculpin can be super dark, or they can be light brown, green. They've got a lot of colors. You just go search sculpin fish, you'll see all the different shades and types of sculpin there are. These are a banded sculpin. Banded. I'm not casting all the way to the bank. I'm probably about 20, 30 foot short. I'm trying to watch the line, but it's real hard to see. It's kind of dark out now. So I'm pretty much going on feel. It's pretty important to have a rod that's like a graphite rod, one that's sensitive. Trout have really soft mouths, so when they hit, most of the time when they hit, you're not going to feel it. Now sometimes you are going to feel it, but it sure helps to have a very sensitive rod that you can feel it. You can feel that line get a little tight, or feel the trout take it. It's good to see the line too if you can, but some light conditions you just can't do it. That was pretty close. Really didn't have to do that. Oh well. I really do believe most people just don't realize what they do when they go by people like that. They just, depending on the boat that you're driving, you could throw a weight big enough to throw someone out of the boat. We had a John boat with 2 guys in it. Now granted, they were some big boys, but somebody went by them just like that in a boat and sent a wall of water over the boat and completely capsized their boat. They had life jackets on, they got out okay. But we talked to the guy later and said, hey, you can't, you're responsible for your weight. Whether you know it or like it or not. To a certain extent, boating, being out here, the wakes and everything, it just all part of it. If you don't like to get waked and you don't like to get buzzed like that, you probably shouldn't come out here. But you can't let it bother you. But you try to educate people to at least try to get as far away as you can. And if you can't get away, then go slow. But don't go so slow that you're throwing a big wake. Some boats, well, it's so complicated because there's so many different kind of boats. Basically, you just have to know what your boat throws at different speeds. And then be nice. One thing I do really try to pay attention to, and this is another tip for boaters, is I try, if I see somebody fishing off one side of the boat towards the bank, or towards the middle, it doesn't make any difference. If I can go around the opposite side of that boat, I will. Because I don't want to go where the guy is fishing. Now, if I don't have any choice, then I go super slow, and then I apologize. And given that situation, the person probably will understand. But if at all possible, I try to stay away from the area that people are fishing. Oh my gosh, eat my jig, please. What was he eating? That was about a 24-inch brown. He just came up and grabbed a bubble off the surface or something. I don't know what it was. But his trajectory, when he was going down, back down in the water, was right toward my jig. I thought, ooh, he might just hit my jig. He didn't do it though. I know I got that on camera. Man, that was a big brown. What was he doing? He could have ate my jig. That was probably him. Or his brother. That's actually the first one I've for sure missed. I drifted a long ways. Almost down to the boat ramp. That was bomb. Oh, I was going to mention, I think Nathan posted on our website, and our Facebook website page, whatever, that we had 40 trophy trout caught and released, registered, that got certificates with us in the month of May. And I want everybody that comes down here to think about that. That's 40 fish that were caught and put back in the lake that now everybody that comes down here to fish has a chance to catch again. And if those 40 fish were all kept, that would have been 40 fish. 40 fish taken out of the lake that are dead. And nobody has a chance to catch. That was another big fish. What was he? Something just hit the surface. Catch and release is really important to a trophy fishery, for it to stay a trophy fishery. You want to get something mounted, you get a replica mounted. If you want to eat a fish, go to Walmart and buy fish. Because these trout, when they get big, they don't taste that good. As a matter of fact, trout in general don't taste that good. They're okay. I'd much rather have a bass or a crappie or a walleye, even a white bass. Cut the red meat out. But it is like any fish. It's how you cook it. I know that. Especially browns. The brown trout meat and rainbow trout meat are very different. Brown trout, the meat is very soft. Even to the point I'd call it mushy. Rainbow meat is a lot more firm. It's more like salmon or something like that. Actually, salmon's pretty mushy. I'm going to make a couple more casts and try not to make these too long. That surface again. I bet you that's the same fish because I drifted by that spot. Water I'm fishing is about 10 feet deep. Give or take a foot or two. As you can tell, the water drops off pretty quick off the bank. My jig's still holding together. Didn't think it would last very long, but these jigs, our jigs, Lilley's jigs, are tied by all local people, basically. People that live around here. And we tell them, after you tie a jig, take that jig and pull on its feathers and make sure those feathers don't come out. Because that's the one thing that irritates me the most, is put a tied jig on and slap it on the water and all the feathers come off. I ain't caught a fish in a while. I ain't got a bite. I'm going to let this one go to the bottom. Work this one a lot deeper. That felt like a bump. Normally in the evening like this, when the sun goes down, those trout are not necessarily on the bottom. You have to work quite so slow or quite so deep. That's not always the case. Sure seems like these fish are down deep. There's a bump. There it is. Let's go deep. Make sure my red light's still blinking. It's good fish. Pretty rainbow. Lots of colors. Very fat, very healthy. I think I said a couple more casts a little bit ago. I'm going to keep fishing. I'll just turn the camera off. I'm going to go on all the way to the corner down here, because get down here closer to Short Creek for some reason. Not lately, but that's where the guys catch a lot of browns. I told Ryan, my nephew, I'm gonna try to get up on Table Rock this week. Like to do some night fishing. Go out and drop a light in the water and let the bait fish come in and gather below the boat. Then have the white bass and maybe crappie, maybe a walleye come in and feed on those shad. I haven't done that in a few years. It is a lot of fun. These nights, pretty cool. Pretty cool out. I'd like to take Ryan and his little boy. Take them out. Wesley. Oh, I just missed him. Take Wesley out. Do some night fishing. If any of you guys go night fishing, you might. I'm open to any pointers. On Table Rock, they say try to find at least 40 foot of water, 40 to 60 foot. You don't want to go too shallow, they said. Of course, Table Rock's 200 foot deep. Years ago I did it, and somebody said take a nylon mesh and string it on a frame, string it tight, drop it down in the water, and the shad will swim through it. It's a gill net, swim through and get caught. Then you can pull it out and pick those shad off the gill net and use them for bait. It worked. There's a nice fish, just rose. I did it a couple times. It worked pretty good. And then somebody asked me, what's the diameter or what's the size of the mesh? And I told them, and they said, well, there's a rule in Missouri that it's got to be basically bigger than what I was using. So I was using an illegal gill net. And the bigger size net would not work. So I took minnows the next time. They work okay. Sure, I didn't get a good hook set on that one. It was a little rainbow. I hesitated. Sometimes that marabou gets twisted around the hook. It looks like a candy cane. I like to straighten it out. Okay, I'm almost down to Short Creek. I have no idea how long I've been going. Eat it. He wasn't very big. chased it all the way up, he wouldn't quite take it. Saw some people out trolling cowbells today. You don't see that very often. We went by our place a few times. I bet you they're catching fish. You know, I felt that and I did not set the hook. It's a little irritating. I tell people hook sets are free. Doesn't cost you anything. If you feel like you feel anything, set the hook. I just felt something different. A lot of times it doesn't feel like a bite, it doesn't feel like anything, it just feels different. Just a little pressure or a little, it's hard to explain. Never felt it. It was there. I could see my line that time. I didn't see it either. He was there when I jigged. Now I'm getting paranoid. Tell you what's rare is fishing this whole bank. Oh, it's got to be a little one. He hit that so hard. Fish this whole bank and not lose a jig. He spit up a whole bunch of scuds. This is the very last part before you get to the corner. Well, literally, I got a couple more casts left. There's one. He's okay. My line went slack, so I saw the bite on that one. Yeah, that's a good rainbow. That's a good rain for down below Fall Creek. That's 15-inch fish. By far the biggest yet today. Couple more casts. You know, I'm watching something that I don't think I've ever seen before. If it really happens, it's not going to happen. No way. There's a heron trying to sneak up on a bunch of wood duck chicks, ducklings. That was a good rainbow. He's about 10 feet from him. Oh, he just flew. I think I spooked him. I don't see the mom anyplace. Kind of weird. But he was the heron. Oh, there's the mom. Sorry, I know I'm describing something you can't see. If I turn the GoPro that way, I know that you can't see them, they're too far away. There's, gosh, I bet there's a dozen ducklings, wood ducks. Let's see if I can just take a picture real quick. Get real close. Oops. Yeah, I'll post it. It's gonna be kind of grainy, low light. All right, this is the last cast. I'm right at the corner. There's a lot of fish right here. A lot of good fish. That's 2 bites in a row. I can't end on 2 bites. Okay, that's it. All the way to the corner. Didn't think I'd get here. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something out of all that babbling. I try to say as much as I can. I don't talk like Blake though. He's just an endless encyclopedia of fishing. Can't compete. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.